See, that's a red flag.
Well, I don't know about you, but the From finale had me like. We had multiple deaths, killer storms, and some heartfelt.
Yo, what's good?
Let's see.
The one thing that I do not love, that I struggle with this show, is the fact that nobody seems to take anybody else seriously in the show at all. Like, obviously, by the way, for folks joining, this is going to be a spoilers conversation and review on the last episode of season 5 of From, the season finale. I'm also going to talk about the crowded room in, like, I don't know, 15 minutes. So you can hop back in if you don't want spoilers for the ending of From. But the thing that always fucks me up about this show is that, like, people are very inconsistent about how willing they are to take crazy shit seriously. Because I understand, like, even if one crazy thing happens, you don't completely throw away your entire worldview for how, like, physics and shit works. So you're still gonna go, like, cool, up is down, down is, up is up, down is down. And so when you're in a horror movie context or a sci-fi movie context, and somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, bro, I think I can fly," it's not that insane to say, "All right, man, what have you been smoking on?" Though, honestly, I think that that's unrealistic. It's at least understandable in the show's context, but I think if somebody that I know who is generally sane came to me with really any crazy fucking shit, I'm gonna take it seriously. Like, I'm gonna believe them enough to investigate the claim rather than going straight to investigating their lucidity, sanity, consciousness, etc. If they say, "Hey, look, I'm not high right now. Everything is fucked up. I think I saw a ghost." I'm like, "All right, you've never talked about ghosts before. Let's investigate, or let's run, whatever." That's what I would do. But I understand in why a normal context in a horror movie or a sci-fi movie, when somebody says, "Hey, I saw my dead dad," you might go, "Look, sometimes we think that we're seeing somebody, but they're not really there." All right, fine. In a show like From, where the entire premise is that everyone is living in a complete suspension of natural law as we know it. They live in a non-Euclidean town where if you continue long enough in one direction, you end up in the same direction. You go around in a circle. It's a pocket fucking dimension that is inescapable through traditional means of locomotion. Monsters fucking come out at night. There are magical talismans that keep them from entering into anything that could be considered a domicile. Doesn't follow any real laws of physics. There are people who can travel back and forth through time. To be fair, I'm not sure if everybody knows about Kate with the bob can do that. There's teleportation fucking trees. We're pretty certain that at least one person has teleported back into the outside world, then back in. All these things have happened. So when Victor says, "Yo, don't cut the fucking bottle tree down," or Jade says, "Hey, I had a fucking mushroom trip and it told me what the previous life cycles were," or fucking Fatima says, "Hey, bitch, I think I'm pregnant with a fucking monster," people's desire to go straight to fucking "bitch, you're crazy" is so strange. Now, don't get me wrong, the island, or the town rather, does lie to people. It does tell people shit that's not true. But the not true shit that it says is never, oh, everything's fine. It's always like a trick in the direction of some other magical shit that needed to be investigated being true. So when Fatima thought, hey, I'm pregnant, it was true that she was not pregnant with a human being, but some other fucked up, horrendous shit was going on that needed to be deeply investigated. So every time somebody says something and Boyd is like, that's some bullshit, I'm like, especially because I do think that to a large degree, Boyd subverts the tropes of the type of character he is, which is the type of character who is like, he's the military cop, no nonsense, speak English to me, guy. He's the leader in charge who doesn't have necessarily who usually would not have deep understanding of the mechanism of the world that they're living in. So Forrest Whitaker in Arrival played the same kind of character, but was also a slight subversion to it. There's also like the military general in any kind of sci-fi alien shit. So think, Iron Giant. Yeah, essentially there's something like the straight man, but it's a weird little mixture where, because they're the straight man, they're really almost like a stumbling block for the scientist that we knows what to do, or they're like a Watson, where they're like a stand-in for us, which is the writer thinks the audience is really fucking stupid. So the hacker says, hey, I think that we're going to have to use this command line in order to bring down the firewall so that we can get in to their system so that I can do whatever the fuck. And then the guy says, can you speak fucking English? And then he goes, I got to do some computer shit and then we'll be able to walk in. Okay, cool. They've translated for that stupid audience member and that character and for the audience. And usually that means characters who ask the like specialists, the academics, the trained professionals in the movie to do shit that isn't possible. And it usually allows the writer to like skip past physical limitations of how long it would take to do something. Hey, I've got a safe cracker. Hey man, this is a Johnstonian 1927. It's not going to be a cracker. It's going to take me days with all the right tools. You have 16 seconds, is what the military guy says. And then they magically do it, Boyd, though, is different. He investigates the world. He doesn't just send off a Jade or who was the kid's dad or that guy to like figure shit out. He goes out into the forest and investigates and finds the talismans and looks for shit and goes on little treks to like find information and then bring it back and update what they do in the world. He's a lot closer to a character like Ragnar Lothbrok from Vikings in that regard. So he's like he's a philosopher warrior, kind of like he does investigation. He does light science. He delegates to people who are, deeper specialists, but he involves himself deeply in the lore, the figuring out of the world, of the hard magic system, the hard science system, while also being like the guy with the gun who gets everybody on program. And who is capable of violence. And that's like a core element of this. They signify a kind of masculine power. But then sometimes he's just like, I'm not fucking doing that. That's some bullshit. That's from a mushroom trip. Why are you putting these why are you putting all this shit on the table instead of just drawing it out? He's sort of questioning. But some of that comes from the fact that he's just a human. And so he's scared of shit. And so he doesn't want to do something, but he rationalizes it as being part of his masculine, militaristic, no nonsense, logical, I'm not losing any men kind of thinking. So yeah, that's my main, like, bro, listen to Victor. Like, I get he's a little kid in the head, but the motherfucker's like 50 or 60 years old. He survived his entire life, where most of y'all, and this is what fucks me about the show from, I thought that they were doing mad time jumps between the episodes. Apparently this shit is like day to day. So from like season 1 to now, only like a month and a half has passed. Like, if that, like, it's been a few weeks, which my headcanon is that no, it's longer than that, because it's a worse show if you think about certain people being forgiven for like bro, she murdered your mom and your dad. Like, how are y'all having conversations 2 weeks later on no planet? But yeah, Victor, give him more credence. Like, what are we doing, man? Almost none of y'all have, no one there has survived as long as him. Shout out to Sophia. I think I saw on like the actor's IG, She had posted like a bikini shot, like the actor who plays Sophia, who was the man in yellow here. And the first comment was like, damn, man in yellow looking different. And I just thought that was hilarious. Let's see. Also, first of all, horrendous wig. Cartoonishly ridiculous. And apparently, the actor playing Julie said, "Bitch, just cut my hair. It's fine." But they were like, we don't know. We might have to go back. And I'm like, you can add extensions to hair that's been cut. A bald cap on long hair with this bullshit on, this looks fucking ridiculous. It takes me out of that shit every time she comes in with her little bob turning her head and shit. And this, hey, what'd you guys say? With the little fringes. Also, bro, look at the fucking bump on the back of this shit, bro. What is this? What is this? Anyway, I think that also her character seems like she's being pushed by the plot. Like, out of nowhere, she's just decided that her obvious superpower of being able to travel through fucking time is just some fake bullshit. It's just some shit that the island is like tricking her into doing. And I'm like, everything about you has been more willing to investigate. Also, her little trick, like, so she goes back in time with a piece of paper in her pocket to write a symbol to see whether or not she can bring something that she changed in her trip when she comes back. And I'm like, and because the symbol that she draws during her story walk doesn't come back to the real world with her, I'm like, so you gave up off that? Like, you haven't even fucking tried, lady. Like, I don't know. Everybody just seems like they're too quick to give up. Another thing that it pissed me off about this, and sorry, this is just me nitpicking bullshit about the various like physics gripes, or not, nitpicky bullshit. But it just seems like all the people in Colony House just seem like they're playing cards and smoking weed all day. Like they're living in a quintessential like hippie, Coachella, hacky sack, Reiki sound bath house, which is cool. I love that. I lived in those type of houses. Wonderful. Motherfucker, y'all live on a goddamn monster island. Every single one of y'all should be building traps and going on regular investigations. Musty, very much crystals instead of deodorant, 100%. But look, they be some dope houses, great food, great community. Shit is fucking chill. A lot of free shit for no reason because somebody like, oh, bro, a bunch of cabbages fell off the back of a truck. I got them, made them into, stewed Jamaican cabbage, and then I turned the juice into fucking moonshine. And it's like, cool, we got free liquor and cabbage for the month, Anyway, why have they not manufactured like a society built around trying to escape? Like, it only seems like 2 or 3 characters, maybe 5 at any given time, are actually actively trying to figure out what the fuck the island is or get away from it. And everybody else just seems to be not doing anything when they're not being looked at. Like, the Colony House has like 50 motherfuckers that live there. Why are they not figuring out different ways to cut down the bottle tree, or how to, manufacture like a fucking excavator, or they have science. Like Jim, that motherfucker, he was like, yo, what are y'all doing? Let's build a fucking radio. Let's make a fucking hot air balloon with the antenna in it and see how far we can get a signal out so we can figure out what the bounds of this thing is. They should be doing daily scouting missions to map out the shit. They've been living there for months. They still don't have a map of the damn place. Like, I don't know. It just seems like they're not doing what humans do, which is categorize, catalog, document, investigate, rearrange, redesign, terraform. They're not doing that stuff, which just seems like y'all really just cool, just chopping up potatoes all day in Colony House. That's what we doing. Like, no. I did hear a theory, by the way, that this fucking lady here. Oh, let me see if I can. This fucking lady here, Clara. I don't know. Like, I think also because the actor playing her is doing like kind of a dopey sort of style of like, oh gosh, golly, I didn't fucking know what kind of a way of performing this character. And I'm like, Bitch, you're not, you don't, there's no way that you think you're going home, right? Like it's an evil monster telling you, like, surely they would be lying. If anyone was lying, tell somebody else. And I get it. People are like, this is like mob shit or like protection racket shit, which is that, like, hey, I'll pay you to do this job for me. The alternative is that I'll shoot you in the fucking head. So your brain tells you, I need to believe that they'll give me the money because the alternative is for me to die. So I do understand that people who are in this like bargain with the devil situation are like, there's a carrot and a stick. The stick is right in front of me. So it's not like I can just go, I don't believe you. Fuck you. Cool. You're going to kill me anyway. So I'm like, all right, I'll just, on the off chance that maybe you're going to come follow through on your promise, I guess I'll do that, even if it's unlikely. So yeah, if Sophia / Man in Yellow came to me and was like, hey, I'm going to fucking kill you, or put your blood in this cup and feed it to this pregnant lady to like fuck her up or whatever. All right, fucking fine, you know. So like, yeah, literally, that many people, especially when you have like a Donna and a Boyd in place and they're real like people organizers. I'm like, come on. And you know what? That might be a key because I think Donna and Boyd, oddly enough, despite the fact that they're both very like masked characters, have a very different function in the town. Like Boyd is a sheriff, and Donna is like almost like a butch doula or something like that. Like she's created this very communal, very holistic, very um gentle space of shared mutual aid, you know? And Boyd's sort of like leadership style is a little bit more hierarchical. He's got a deputy, he's a sheriff. It's a, you know, everybody lives in their, you know, single household dwellings, and there's a diner, and you know that kind of it's this sort of hippie versus mid-century nuclear family style of organizing a society. Um and Donna does seem less interested in investigating and cataloging and more like, let's see how we can get by. So I think that is fair. And they have like just a handshake agreement of like, look, I'm gonna lead the town how I want to lead it. You can lead Colony House how you lead it. And so I think that's part of it. But there's so many people in the town. So I agree. Colony House maybe is the result of Donna being like, what I'm aiming for is a kind of, I'm gonna use the word feminine, but I mean something different. But like a feminine, communal, mutual aid, distributed format of leadership, where this is about creating like a human living space. And Boyd is like, this is about organizing a town towards goals. If I was Boyd, I'd have everybody would be working 90-hour weeks in that town. Like there's so like you literally up until Jim got killed, you literally had a fucking software developer / like agile designer and a fucking engineer on your team. Them motherfuckers should have been on, like, I would have been working their ass to the bone daily. No fuck weekends. We live in a fucking monster town. Why are we throwing carnivals? And I get it. Like, you do need that balance, but like the motherfuckers in Colony House don't have day jobs. Like, what is everybody doing all day? Like, I'd be like, look, you all work 40 hours in the regular world. You can work 40 hours here. If you're a doctor, if you're a nurse, if you're an engineer, if you're just anybody, we would be building shit constantly. So I don't know. Let me see what else. Literally just eating grapes and pussy all day, and it's like, what the fuck are we doing? Dope that the Smiley monsters can't go into sunlight, I guess, which I guess makes sense why they don't go out in the daylight. I would love for that to just be like some trick shit that they just added just so that everybody felt safe until like some final moment in the future, like that they were just fully faking it, so that all the townspeople were lulled into a real sense of security at some point. But also the sun went out, so apparently if you do the wrong shit, they can just go anywhere. If you were Victor, sorry, not Victor. If you were, what's Victor's dad's name? Henry. If you were Henry, and you ended up in this town, and then you woke up in a bed that looked just as real as the town looked, and they were telling you, hey, that shit is not real. I think that my issue is that they went with like, you got to kill him. Because that seems like the type of shit that your mind thinks when you're high. Like, hey, you could fly, jump off the roof. You idiot. If you could fly, take off from the ground. Like, that's not how flying works. You don't need to jump off the fucking roof to do it, you know? I guess unless you like are gliding, maybe. I don't know. Um, so if my dream is telling me, hey, the way that you do this, that you let go of this, is you murder the fucking, it's like that's feel like a trick. Also, in order for him to believe that that's the real world, he has to believe that he hallucinated the last like 40 years of his life with all the like he just had like a 40-year long super high resolution hallucination. And I'm like, also, I wonder, do you think when you have like a dissociated reality, that the reality that knows about both realities is the real one or the fake one? Because real Victor doesn't know about dream, like fake, like Yellow Man Victor. So I don't know. Also, Henry's actor is trash to me. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. I feel like he's really bad at acting. Um, Shout out to Victor. He's an amazing. Victor is great. Harold Perrineau is great. This lady, she's kind of, what is her name? Miranda. She's kind of whatever, but maybe I'm being xenophobic. I'm not sure, but she just feels whatever to me. Fatima is competent. Jade is pretty good. Speaking of this guy, this is the dumbest, simplest boy, simplest, sweetest, stupid little boy in this damn show. What a fucking idiot. And he got exactly what he wasn't built for these type of situations. This motherfucker's an idiot. I mean, this is the type of character that in like a prison show comes in trying to play trade baseball cards and get stabbed and or sexually assaulted within the first 5 minutes of like the show. That's what this character is. It's just like way too naive, way too scared, way too neurotic, way too like all. He doesn't even have like some autism powers where he's like real good at math or can like count toothpicks if you drop them on the ground. He's just like, he's big, so strong. Maybe that could help, but he doesn't seem to use it. And he finds a photograph of this white lady, looks at that suspiciously, and then brings it to her with suspicion going, why are you in this photo? Like, what explanation that could there be that would not pose immediately an immediate threat to your safety? She's lying about something that is a huge fucking problem. And I understand there's no way that you would think like, oh, she's one of the monsters. Cool. There might be some other explanation like, oh, that's my grandmother and she was trapped there and I never knew about it. It could be, I traveled through time. And look, if he had come in and been like, hey, this is so crazy. This person in this picture looks just like you. Isn't that kooky? That would have at least made sense because he's not thinking that she's a danger. But he came in like, bitch, explain this. What explanation did you think was going to not involve you fucking dying? Also, what did she do to him? Because I didn't even know she had that power. Oh, wait. And Miranda is her past life. Yeah, Tabitha is, I don't know. I do feel like I liked Jim. Jim was cool because people said that they had to kill Jim because he was too damn competent. Like he was like, he got there day one and was like, nigga, I'm gonna build a cell phone tower because what the fuck are y'all doing? Y'all in here painting bullshit watercolors and eating cabbages all day, eating hairy pussy. Like, what are we doing? Like, let's build some shit. Let's see whether or not we can get a fucking cell phone signal through this place. Let's see whether or not it's a pocket dimension. Let's get shit moving. They were like, yeah, this nigga gotta die. We gotta kill this man. Let me see. Fatima, yeah, classic victim of feminine gaslighting. We cannot have any more male gynecologists. Believe women's pain. The usual shit. Let me see what else. This guy, yeah, this guy's cool. He's cool. I like him. I heard somebody say that like maybe Ethan is the man in yellow, and I'm betting it's going to be some type of twist like that, like with Westworld. And I think that would be good. I think it should be. I think it should be some kind of test like this, or some kind of twist like that. Also, what I'm trying to figure out is, so the rule is with the talismans, if you open a window, the talisman doesn't work anymore. Did they establish that before? Because they were like, as soon as we open the tree shit, they'll be able to enter. Now, my thinking is, again, y'all should have had Jim, because I'd have been like, cool, peel the tree back, then put it back, then go down in the tunnels. Like, pre-test it. Why are y'all trying for the first time to knock the damn tree down in the middle of the thing? Also, well, yeah, I guess I understand not sending anybody else down because maybe it needed to be them too. But the fact that they did no quality control, no first flight test on the fucking ladder is crazy. The fact that they made the ladder out of cuttable material is crazy. Like, they have so many tools. Make the shit out of wood. The fact that they didn't have a backup ladder is fucking crazy. Like, yeah, yeah. The fact that they didn't do like training drills on whether or not they could climb up the shit in time. Like, they just incompetent, especially given the fact that none of these people have jobs. Y'all don't have jobs. You don't have to pay rent. The housing is free in Fromville. Housing and food are free. You don't have to pay for them. You don't have to pay for gasoline or bullets. It's all free. Spend all your time doing tests. And I get it. You were in a rush, so you had to get it done like in 2 days. Fair. That's 48 hours of testing. I don't know, man. But this is me complaining affectionately about a show that I fucking love. This is one of my favorite shows of all time, and right now, literally week to week, I'm refreshing, being like I know that it's not out yet, but I'm like, oh, is it out yet? Like, down to the hour, I'm waiting for it to drop. So, amazing show. I don't know what the fuck the Lake of Tears is, and I'm assuming that Jim. Oh wait, because the man in yellow said he can only transform into people who have died in From. And he only and that version of Jim only showed up after Jim died, which means that would have been well within Man in Yellow's ability to turn into. That said, if I was Man in Yellow and I could kill people, I don't know if there's like a shelf life or like a buffering period, but like, wouldn't you just kill somebody and replace them entirely? Like, just kill Jim and then be Jim from there forward. That seems like that'd have huge utility. I got no idea what the Lake of Tears is. I'm assuming, well, if you take the theory that Man in Yellow actually is Ethan, then that's Ethan telling himself to go to the River of Tears through the body of Jim. Let me see. Got anything else? Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy that not Fatima was like, that's my secret cap. I'm always a smiley monster. Like that was kind of sad. I'm not even gonna hold you. I wonder why he eats them. That's what I'm trying to figure out. All right. Well, look, those are all my From takes. I'm gonna start talking about The Crowded Room, which I really, really loved. This is spoilers, but honestly, it's not the type of show where, like, it's sort of like, it's styled as like a mystery, but the twist is so obvious to everyone except the protagonist, or the main sort of character, that I think it's doing something else. Yeah, hello, mother is giving like hey auntie vibes from like Killmonger, where it was like, you being a dickhead now, like, you know, she's horrified of this. But I wonder, like, if she's transforming, are they going to be like, does she hate them? Is she going to fight them? Is she bad now? Like, what does that even mean? You know, it's a cold line when she said, "Remember me how I was," though. I fuck with that. Let me see. Yeah. So this show, I just go straight into spoilers. So if you haven't seen it and you do want to see it, like, yeah, leave the chat. It's only a few folks in here. In this show, it's basically about a guy with multiple personality disorder, which is what it was called back then, dissociative identity disorder now. And it's told from the perspective of like, it's like a thriller mystery where him and this woman like shoot a mystery man, they get arrested, and then they have to like piece together why she shot that guy and the different journeys that he's been on. And he's talking to this woman in like a police, holding or whatever. And as the thing unravels, we slowly find out that many of the characters from his stories and his reasoning and why he does things, including the woman that did the crime at the beginning of the show, are all just himself in alternate personalities. And so a lot of these previous stories are like him interacting with his own alternate personality, or a story of a person who is just, one of his alters, kind of a thing. All of that is kind of quite obvious from the beginning, and also just from the title of the thing. It's a crowded room. You know what I'm saying? He's alone, but he lives in a crowded room, his head. So it's kind of obvious from the get-go. But so I think it's really not a thriller. It's really mostly like a drama. It's this drama that's about a man walking through trauma that he's unaware of, and the sort of like sad, but also like relatable coping mechanism of being able to step into these different versions of self, these different people that act as like protectors, which I think other kinds of, so-called personality disorders, and like even in ourselves, there's like, cool, there's like a protector in your head, or there's like a thinker in your head. And it's like, it's not you, because you might struggle with this, but like, what if I were to be a person who could fight? What if I were to be a person who could be seductive, who could be social, because I struggle with those things? And he's got one of his alternate personalities is like an ex-Mossad agent who can like fight really well. Obviously, real world, he's not going to get superpowers when he does it, but it's like, even just that belief that you can fight and the willingness to take, to take blows from others, to not cower, and to be like, I'm going to throw a punch and I'm going to throw another punch and I'm going to try and fight you and I'm going to scream and yell and bite you. Just having access to that is powerful. And it makes sense because his core personality is like, I'm so afraid and I'm so shy and people bully me constantly. So to have another personality that can act as his protector is great. And there's another personality that like operates as his father. And there's another personality that's like a woman who allows him to access, love and enter into romantic relationships and have sex with other people, because they were saying, at least in this show, that multiple personality disorder, what they call it then, is the result of like childhood sexual abuse. You check out and dissociate because you're being sexually abused, and that results in altered personalities that exist basically to protect you in various circumstances. Yeah, I'll show you the trailer real quick just to give an idea. Oh shit! Hold on, sorry. Yeah, the audio is playing. Is it not? Y'all not hearing it? Hold on, let me. Thank you, Nilotic, by the way. Let me see whether or not this. Yeah, I'm halfway into this shit. And this, let's see. All right, can you hear anything? Anything?
Go. You want to come in? Clean yourself up.
Can y'all hear that? Yes. Okay. Cool.
You know why you're here?
I have these blank spots. Sometimes I think that night marked me. Everything that came afterwards. Couldn't be a coincidence, could it?
Get down on the ground!
Brought in a kid last night. Might be something that interests you.
Danny, you don't really seem like a dangerous person. Can you tell me how you ended up here?
Loser.
Hey, I'm gonna kick your little wiry ass. Please don't. Go. You wanna come in, clean yourself up? You are safe now.
It never struck you as strange that this man just showed up to save you.
Just figured I was lucky.
Have you ever been lucky?
No.
There's blasts everywhere.
Signs of a struggle, blood on the floor.
What about the girl?
No sign of her either. I'm thinking that he offed her.
What did you do?
This wasn't a random shooting. He's hiding something.
What happened in that house? Where did they all go?
I have these blank spots.
They're not the only people close to you to disappear, are they?
Do you think these are all victims?
Can you see how all of this can seem like it was you?
Wait, do you think that I'm the one pulling the strings?
What if I said I do?
I'm not!
Danny, I'm trying to help you.
I didn't shoot anybody.
His best interest is to plead guilty.
They're all in this together.
If I'm right, Danny may be innocent. What are you not telling me? What are you not telling yourself?
Yeah, like it's got the vibe and aesthetic of like a mystery, but like even from just the trailer, it's very obvious what the like twist is. I don't even know if they really tried to make it a twist because it was just very obvious from like the immediate beginning. So you're just trying to figure out like, okay, who's real in this? And it actually becomes quite obvious because the usual shit of like, yeah, none of these people interact with anybody simultaneously with him, and they're shot in ways that are weird. So it's like very clearly, oh, okay, like we get what's going on. And then once you have it in your head what the rules are of who is and isn't an alter, then they keep getting followed throughout the series. But then even once you sort of discover what it is that's going on, they make it quite clear and explicit. You're still just exploring because it's all about like Danny's relationship to this, because he's dealing with a like severe psychological scar and like severe fucking pain. Like they said, there's only one thing that causes this disorder. At least that's what they say in the show. And it's like severe childhood sexual abuse. And so it's like, yeah, you go through that, and man, like by the end of the thing, you just feel for him, and at least for me, you just kind of like relate to it. You're just like, oh yeah, like sometimes you need a protector, but you don't have one, so you have to be your own protector. And sometimes you need like a father figure, but you don't have one, so you have to be your own father figure. Sometimes you need a feminine energy to allow you to access feelings that you wouldn't otherwise, so you become that, you know. And it's kind of you're at a party, you're nervous, but it's like you kind of put on a charismatic, and obviously that's way different than a clinically diagnosed dissociative, but it's very relatable, and kind of sad. And it relates to this idea of like, you know, that our future and past versions are different instances of the same consciousness that have a shared sense of identity and a desire to protect one another. You know, it's the reason that you eat healthy is like you don't benefit from that in that moment, but you eat healthy because there's a future consciousness that exists somewhere out in the world in the future that's got your same name and your same face and your same body that you deeply love, and you want to take care of them. So you want to make sure that he or she has, you know, a body that's healthy and knees that work well. So you exercise for her. You know what I mean? You eat for him. You set out a glass of water on the nightstand so that he or she's not thirsty, you know? And there's just something very heartfelt and beautiful and kind of heart-wrenching about the show. No, that don't have nothing to do with nothing. It's in 1975, so it's not like, if anything, the only thing that it really signifies is that this is like a made up, or this is an alter constructed from like the idea of a tough guy that a severely lonely man in 1975 might have come up with to self-style an alternative personality as a protector in his mind. Because there's also like, there's the woman character, like the woman alter that he has is like a black woman played by Sasha Lane. And she's kind of like, you know, in the like the black leather thing. So, you know, he probably saw a Black Panther or somebody who was adjacent to that and kind of styled a version of a queer, self-confident, steely-eyed woman, and that, and he thought, oh, maybe and that also began to self-style from that. So I don't, it didn't, that one is not that deep really. Yeah. I just finished it yesterday. Great show. Like low key fucking slept on, because I think I saw that trailer and I was like, this shit looks like whatever. But then as I watched it, I was just like, no, if you watch the show focusing on Tom Holland's character and performance as just a character study and what it is to be like deeply, deeply alone and troubled, in a world that has no tolerance for that, I think that you come away with a really, really great show. Like, just don't come into it for a mystery. Like, it's mystery in the sense that you can see that some of the characters don't know certain things, but you as the audience member, you kind of already know everything from the first frame. It's to the point that I think that maybe they didn't intend for it to be a mystery. They just were like, oh, this is just an aesthetic to add on top of what is a drama. The same way with like Beautiful Mind, where it's like, what we're trying to do is walk you through the subjective experience of a person with, I think it was schizophrenia. What did he have? Schizophrenia? Because at the start of the movie, the first half of the series in this, Tom Holland's character is not aware that he has dissociative identity disorder. So it's this therapist trying to slowly investigate and prod to help him realize it. And it's like him going back and being like, oh, wait, like my charismatic best friend who always helps me out at school, like he's me. Like the guy that saved my life when a drug dealer almost fucking killed me. Fuck, that's me. Like, and like all these nights that I can't remember. Wait, I remember falling in love with another man, and piecing back together your own reality. Is that it's a beautiful thing to experience. I'm not even gonna hold you. Yeah, and I think that that's something that we can all sort of relate to. You know what I mean? When I'm sad, let me be strong. You know what I mean? When I'm too strong, let me be soft. Let me, there's these different things that you try and access to yourself. And when that gets to a super, super extreme, you get to like full levels of this is another person living in the mind with different skills, different accent, different body language, literally different memories, like can speak languages that you can't speak type shit. Literally, that motherfucker had an inner Black woman. Like they played in a way that's like feels quite, because it also is Sasha Lane, and Sasha Lane is she's in that. She's the white man's Black woman when it comes to like filming. Similar to a Zendaya, not exactly the same brand. Like they wouldn't be cast for the same things, but Sasha Lane has like I have a white boyfriend and we live in Colony House archetype. I don't know. Yeah. So it kind of, she works. Like when I think about her in American, what was it? American Honey and shows like that. She's the chill Black girl with a white mom who hangs out with hippies. And I say that really with no like any kind of judgment or anything like that, but just like, that's what that character tends to be like. So them playing her as the internal Black woman of a white man, I'm like, yeah, if there was anybody who was going to cast as that, it probably would have been her. Yeah. Because people always talk great stuff about Immortal Hulk, and I just couldn't quite get into it. Because I do remember them talking about like his father. There was a really cold bar, which is just like, who could hurt you like this? Talking about, sort of like parental trauma. That nobody else has access to the child in you like a parent does to be able to harm you. Because, by the time a woman breaks your heart, or a guy does you dirty, or a boss fires you, you've accumulated the armor of an adult consciousness. But a parent can harm you in ways that take you back to the innocent, complete vulnerability of childhood, which is just some different shit. And so I like that idea of it, but I really like the idea of Hulk being primarily a psychological drama / thriller that's mostly about dissociative identity disorder, because it's literally a man who like loses time because he has like these alternate personalities, and one of them is literally the Hulk, and in this show, it's Yitzhak Safdie is the Hulk character, essentially the Hulk personality. He can fight and beat up anybody, you know what I mean, if you need him to. That's why I really loved Ang Lee's Hulk. I think that was the closest to a good Hulk movie in my view. I think that, don't get me wrong, there are people who like the Hulk smash part of Hulk, but I think oh no, not now, anytime but now, anything but now / where was I last night element of Hulk, I think are the most interesting elements of that. Like, what is it to try and survive being two different people in a single body? But they don't really toy with that much. Yeah. So I think if they did another, and I think at this point, the MCU has moved so far away from this that I think that really the only interesting Hulk series that they could really do is like either a flashback to when he had less control over it, or a new alter coming into play and doing it as like a horror thriller. Like, people really sleep on the Ang Lee one, because it's like just looking in the mirror and being like, fuck, where was I last night? What happened? What was that? Who am I? It's just such a fucking great way to approach that character. Yeah. Like if they did Hulk the way that they did, what is it, Wonder Man, that'd be it. Like, don't have no villain. Like, literally don't have any villains. Literally don't have any villains. And just see what the fuck happens. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I don't know, maybe our impulse to get to have superhero shows with no superheroics is, maybe it's like pretentious to the point where we're like, okay, look, I want to watch a Marvel movie, but can you make it like where there's no villains and there's no powers and it's just like a guy going through his day? It's like, motherfucker, you go somewhere else for that. Like, this is a superhero show. You want to watch about superheroes. But I just don't think that that Hulk works for that. I think Spider-Man really works for that. I think Iron Man really works for that. I think, Thor really works well for that. But I think Hulk is like, the motherfucker is like a mentally handicapped Jolly Green Giant alter of a nerdy scientist with a dissociative identity disorder. That's not even like a functional hero. Like, that's such a dysfunctional format and power set that he doesn't even make sense as a hero. He doesn't, like, in order for him to use his powers, he loses his ability to coherently relate to the fucking problem that he's trying to solve. Like, hey guys, we need to lose this truck. Let me turn into the Hulk. Oh shit, now I'm mentally handicapped. I just want to be alone. Like, dumbest power ever, Yeah, you did this. Don't you remember? I mean, because Hulk is based off of Jekyll and Hyde, which is kind of like an early, before we even had like a diagnosis or anything for multiple personality / DID. I don't know what, yeah, I feel like that would be interesting. But then if is it second person if it's not you, if it's an alter, you know what I mean? Yeah, look, we need more pretentiousness. I think that you're probably right, because the Marvel has been trash. Yeah, he fights the guy. Yeah, I don't know, something about like, and maybe you were saying this as a compliment, Poppy, but I'm just like, yeah, he fights the government because they're like hunting him because he's a monster, and it's like, yeah, I guess that's cool. He fights other strong people who want to challenge him for what? Like that part doesn't even fucking make sense. Yeah, like the Frankenstein is interesting as a story, and most of those like monster things are interesting as a story, where like the only thing that you're really ever going to fight is what you get with Lou Ferrigno, which is that like random guys in bars. But I think once you start adding in the Abomination and him trying to fight a villain in a city, it's like, this doesn't make much sense. To be fair, Absorbing Man worked really well, but that was because that was his father. And so they had like a deeper connection that was about the powers themselves, and it wasn't just a smashing fight. Yeah, I think I would not mind a Hulk movie where we just completely get rid of that. Man, I'm just remembering how good that goddamn Ang Lee movie was. The Absorbing Man was so fucking scary and creepy. Like the way that he discovered his powers when he like touched onto a piece of metal and was like, oh shit, my hand just fucking fused into that. What the fuck? Yeah, Doomsday, I'm like, nah. I mean, yeah, like, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what they do. Look, Robert Downey Jr. is in it. Dr. Doom is one of my all-time favorite villains. Like, what can, even if it's bad, it's not going to be bad. Yeah, I only heard bad things about Supergirl. Should I bother giving it a watch? Because I did not hear anything good, and I'm already kind of not like a Super Family fan like that anyway, so yeah. Anyway, all right, I'm going to head. This has been my review of The Crowded Room and From season 5 finale. I will talk to y'all soon. Peace as always. And we'll see y'all this weekend for the episode.